building. This is Good Questions with Anh Will. I have received a lot of questions about proper storage for your coffee beans. There are a lot of options available, but the two things you want to really protect your coffee from are oxygen and moisture in the air. Keeping your coffee beans out like this will expose them to everything that's in the air. So this is not ideal for more than just a few minutes. These bags, although they do protect for some time, are also not ideal because plastic is permeable. It has a lot of tiny holes that allow moisture and oxygen in. So this is not a good solution for long-term storage. These types of reusable containers are great, but only if the seal is good. And so for this type of seal, you're gonna really need to put this lid on very tight. And it doesn't really do anything to protect it from the oxygen that gets inside every time you open it. It may be good for a few days. It's not really ideal for long-term storage. This is a multi-layered coffee bag. We use it to hold samples. It's very good at keeping things out and keeping things in, but there is no way for the gases that are trapped inside to escape. And so everything that is sealed inside with the beans stays there and begins to interact with the bean. The ideal coffee storage is, of course, the bags that your coffees come in. They're multi-layered. You can see that there are a few layers in between the plastic on the outside. And these layers protect it from moisture and oxygen. Additionally, we have this one-way valve, which will allow air to go out, but none to come back in. So if I were to squeeze this and get all of the air out, I can smell coffee, but also notice how it stays squeezed. So the air isn't being allowed to go back. Now over time, the beans will release carbon dioxide, which will make the bag puff up again. But the one-way valve should allow the extra pressure to release. So this is nice and ideal. Another note about this type of sealing bag is that when you reclose it after opening, you really want to be sure you close the entire zipper, not just one place on it, so air can't sneak past the seal. Storing your coffee in its original bag is usually the best. Squeezing out all the air when you close it is even better. If you want to store this longer than just a couple of weeks, I'd recommend putting a piece of tape over the valve and putting it in the freezer. You can keep it in the freezer for up to a year, sometimes longer, depending on the quality of the bag. And then when you're ready to use it, take it out and leave it on the counter overnight, and it'll reach room temperature during that time, and then you can use it up in the next week or two. And it should be as fresh as it was when you put it in the freezer. I do not recommend keeping any coffee, beans, or ground in the refrigerator. There's too much moisture, too many odd smells, and it doesn't really do a great job at bringing the temperature low enough to preserve the coffee long term. So the freezer is the best for long-term storage, and this bag is the best to keep the beans in. Thank you very much.